When young football players move to a new country, many of them cannot speak English well in the beginning. Imagine the pressure of being a teenager, signed for millions of dollars, stepping onto the pitch in front of 60,000 screaming fans and not understanding a single word your manager or your teammates are saying. Yet something truly interesting happens over time. Within a few months or a couple of years, these same athletes are giving fluent, confident post-match interviews on live television. How do they do it? Today, we're going to break down the exact strategies professional footballers use to learn English incredibly fast. More importantly, we will discuss how you can apply these exact same high-intensity methods to your own language learning journey. You don't need a multi-million-dollar contract to learn like a pro. You just need to understand their system. Let's take Cristiano Ronaldo as an example. When he first arrived in England from Portugal as a teenager to join Manchester United, he did not feel comfortable speaking English. Imagine being young in a completely foreign country, surrounded by a new culture, and not understanding everything around you. It was isolated, overwhelming, and deeply uncomfortable. Ronaldo did not achieve fluency by sitting in a traditional classroom for hours memorizing grammar tables. Instead, he relied on daily effort and active immersion. Every single day, he listened to his teammates in the dressing room. He practiced the phrases he heard, and he slowly started to speak, completely unafraid of making mistakes. After some years of this consistent daily exposure, he was standing proudly in front of international media cameras, speaking with absolute confidence, answering complex questions, and connecting directly with his global fan base. That massive transformation did not happen overnight. It came from relentless daily effort. For language learners, the lesson here is simple. Stop trying to study English in isolation. You have to immerse yourself in the language. Turn your phone's language settings to English. Listen to English podcasts during your daily commute and force yourself to interact with the language every single day. Consistency beats intensity every single time. Now, let's think about Lionel Messi. For the vast majority of his legendary career, Messi mostly spoke Spanish in interviews. He lived in Barcelona, where Spanish and Catalan are dominant, so he had no pressing need to communicate in English. However, when he moved to a new club in a different country later in his career, he had to adjust his approach entirely. At first, he naturally depended more on his native language to communicate, but step by step, he began to use more English words, especially when speaking to international audiences, sponsors, and global media. The crucial detail in Messi's transition is that he did not wait to become perfect before he started. He didn't lock himself away until he had a perfect accent or perfect syntax. He started speaking little by little, using what he knew when he knew it. These two iconic stories show us something incredibly powerful about psychology. You do not need perfect English to begin speaking. You just need the courage to try. Too many students paralyze themselves because they are terrified of making a grammatical mistake. In the real world, communication is about connection, not perfection. If you can get your point across, you have succeeded. The perfection will come later through practice. Now, close your eyes and imagine this exact situation. You arrive in a new country. There are new people, a new culture, an entirely new language, and suddenly you must train, play, and speak under intense public scrutiny. This is the real high-stakes life of international football players. English today functions like a global language in the sports world. In the modern era, players from 5 or 6 different countries routinely come together to form a single team.
In these multicultural dressing rooms, coaches almost always give their tactical instructions in English. Teammates must communicate critical adjustments on the pitch in English within a split second. Without understanding the language, it becomes very difficult, if not impossible, to play effectively as a cohesive team. In football, learning English isn't a hobby or an academic milestone. It is a functional necessity for survival and success. If a midfielder cannot understand the defender yelling "man on" or "turn," the team loses the ball and potentially the match. You can recreate this high-stakes necessity in your own life. Give yourself real reasons to use English. Join international online communities centered around your favorite hobbies. Participate in language exchanges or seek out professional projects where English is required. When your brain realizes that English is a necessary tool for survival or for doing what you love, it will retain information twice as fast. Another secret weapon in football clubs is the buddy system. When a new foreign player joins a team, the manager often pairs them with a teammate who speaks both English and the new player's native language. This buddy acts as a bridge, translating tactics on the pitch, but forcing the new player to speak English during lunch, in the gym, and during travel. Footballers learn rapidly because they are constantly engaged in peer-to-peer learning. They are not learning formal, archaic prose from an old textbook. They are learning the living, breathing, colloquial English used by their peers. They pick up idioms, slang, and natural sentence structures naturally because they are highly motivated to fit in with the group. To mimic this, find a study partner or a language exchange buddy. Instead of just studying vocabulary lists alone, practice real conversational scenarios. Talk about your day, debate your favorite films, or discuss sports. Learning from and with a peer removes the academic pressure and mirrors the natural social way human brains are wired to acquire language. To wrap up today's lecture, let's review the core playbook of how footballers master English at lightning speed. 1. They embrace total immersion. They live, breathe, and work in the language daily. 2. They prioritize communication over perfection. They speak with whatever broken vocabulary they have, building confidence step by step. 3. They leverage necessity. They use English as a critical tool to get things done, which accelerates cognitive retention. You have the exact same capacity to learn. Drop the heavy grammar books for a moment, step out of your comfort zone, and start using the English you have right now. Now, I want to hear from you. Look at your own daily routine. How are you currently learning English, and which of these professional football strategies are you going to implement today? Write your way of learning English in the comments below, and let's start a discussion. Class dismissed, and keep practicing.